to turn on your side. That's your new trick. It's a very good trick, too. Yes. Good girl.
The television and radio stations of the United States and their affiliated stations are proud to provide facilities for a discussion of issues in the current political campaign by the two major candidates for the presidency.
Of all the institutions arrayed against
Maura's
the
last night in Florida.
Nixon once wrote, none controls his fate more than television. As for why Nixon came to regard television as an adversary, one need look no further than the 1960 election year debate between Nixon and his rival for the presidency, John F. Kennedy. That event was the first of its kind to be broadcast on national television.
Maura!
It permanently altered the political landscape.
I think she
It
likes
changed not only how America selects its leaders, but
Just like Miss America, he picked the more attractive of the two men. And that's how Jack Kennedy beat Richard Nixon. He turned out to be the more attractive guy.
Yeah.
At the time, Senator Kennedy was far less familiar to the American public than was Nixon. But on television, his good looks and evident composure provided an excellent calling card.
If we fail to move ahead, if we fail to develop sufficient military and economic and social strength here in this country, then I think that the tide could begin to run against us. And I don't want historians 10 years from now to say, these were the years when the tide ran out from the United States. I want them to say, these were the years when the tide came in. These were the years when the United States started moving.
Up to that point, he was this good-looking guy from Massachusetts. He looked like a Harvard undergrad. You know, he was well-tailored, he was handsome, he was glamorous. I think, in hindsight, Nixon must have said to himself, why did I do that? I mean, why did I give this guy this
Maura!
I mean, I was his press agent.
Maura!
Jack Kennedy making speeches is a bore.
Hi!
Jack Kennedy debating Richard Nixon is an event.
Kennedy arrived at the TV studios in Chicago on the afternoon of September 26th, looking tanned and well-rested.
He wanted to know, where do I stand? How long do I have to answer? Will I get a warning when I'm going too far? I mean, he really wanted to know the nuts and bolts of what we were going to do. Jack Kennedy knew that an election could ride on his television appearance. Nixon thought it was just another campaign appearance.
The main thing missing from the great debate was a debate.
I think that the United States is maintaining a strong society here in the United States. I think that we can meet any internal threat. The major threat is external and will continue. Mr. Nixon, comment?
I agree with Senator Kennedy's appraisal generally in this respect. The question of communism within the United States has been one that has worried us in the past. It is one that will continue to be a problem for years to come.
People who watched it on television
Look at that little
thought Kennedy won. People who heard on radio thought Nixon won.
Last time she wears it.
Televised encounter remains
I did.
significant for another reason.
We've got it at the
It was
children's
a night
place.
when political campaigners and
clearance.
television executives came together and discovered that they were made for each other.
In the middle of this
It's a
thing,
nice place until about
the politicians are looking at the television and thinking,
She's already been in 3
guys
different
have a reach
states.
in everybody's living room.
3. Yeah,
The
she went to
television guys,
Illinois,
are looking at the
Wisconsin, and
politicians
Florida.
She's
They
a
were a
world
source
traveler.
of unlimited advertising dollars. That's a bottomless pit.
Yes.
That night changed the face of American politics. That was the night that television and politics eyed each other, flirted with each other, got
You gonna have this
engaged,
audio
and eventually got married.
Probably.
And because of that, you cannot hold office in the United States of America, or even think about running for office, unless you've got the money to buy television time. Politics in America is now a money game, and it all weaned off the night.
I was wondering, why do you keep coming up like that?
70 million Americans, at the time the largest political audience in U.S. history,
I did that.
watched the first televised debate. In November 1960,
You'll look at this 20 years from now and you'll wonder why you weren't in the video.
Elections in history.
Remember on the video
And
we
many
had you
believe
and I
that
went,
the debates have made the
don't
difference.
do that.
From her birth, I'm not in any of her videos, and I'm kind of upset that I'm not.
Where was Mommy? Mommy was recuperating.
Mommy was drugged on Darvis
Let
said.
the word go forth
Don't
from this
Morphine.
place
tell
to
her
friend
bad
and
stories.
foe alike.
Nope, you just
That
popped
the
out.
torch has been
She
passed
feel bad. She put you
to a new generation of Americans.
John F. Kennedy was not the first president to appear on television, but he was America's
Yeah,
first
that's
television
how it goes naturally.
Ask
My mother
not
put mine that way.
what your country can do
It's
for
not
you.
natural.
I know.
Ask what you can do for your country.
The televised image of this youthful
Plus your mom was a
articulate
lefty.
leader
I know.
seemed to reflect the nation's yearning for a fresher, brighter day. On
Did she
November
favor your left
22nd,
or right?
1963, it came to a sudden end. President Kennedy arrived in Dallas
favor the
that
right
morning
side.
She favors
for
the
a
right.
political goodwill visit. Citizens lined the streets waving as the presidential motorcade moved slowly through the city. At about 12:30, as the open convertible carrying the presidential party passed through Dealey
In
Plaza,
utero?
3 sharp cracks punctuated the afternoon air.
When that news broke, I immediately called Frank Stanton, who was president of CBS. He was in a very important meeting. And the secretary said, yeah, I'm sorry, he's not going to be disturbed. I said, you better disturb him. She said, well, I'm not allowed to disturb him.
She's got to do
The
on the thing
president's
where
just been
she'll
shot.
put things up to her
She
mouth.
said, well, he'll call you back. I said,
Yeah.
he'll call me back immediately.
Yeah.
You may not
All
be
of her
alive by the
toys.
time he calls me back. Stan called back and he said, get on the air and hold the air and don't put anything else on.
Adam asked
until
if I
we
was going
find
to
out
get
whether he's dead or alive.
any
As the
videos,
tales
so that's why
trickled
I
in,
saw this.
I began reporting that day's
Thought I should get
shocking
something.
events.
Throughout the streets of Dallas, the Dallas police had been augmented by
Huh?
some 400 policemen called in on their day off because there were some fears and concerns in Dallas.
It was just the
Yes, Dad's
beginning
getting
of
into
what
this
would
now.
become 4 days of uninterrupted and unprecedented
Yeah.
news coverage.
From Dallas,
very
Texas,
sad.
the flash, apparently official, President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, 2 o'clock
in
Eastern
4th grade.
Standard Time, some 38 minutes ago.
We were in school.
I thought he was going to lose it,
Imagine
but he
that.
didn't.
Horrible.
I figured, uh-oh, where's Severide? I got to get somebody in there right away. Because I didn't know whether Waller was going to recover
No,
from
just
it. but-
assuming.